Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so happy to be here today. I am Krylios, Team Racing Productions MC and producer. And joining me today is our special guest, and that is David Krucoff. Welcome, David.
Hi there. How are you? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Such a pleasure having you here with us today. And, I want to begin with you just telling our viewers a little bit about yourself and why you're a candidate this year.
Well, thank you first off to Krylios, to you, and to Team Racine for being so kind as to invite me to your YouTube live video today.
Thank you.
I'm a third generation Washingtonian, and I'm sick and tired of not being represented in Congress. I think that the second-class citizenship condition of us in the District of Columbia is abhorrent. And I've worked steadily and consistently and passionately to try to alter that condition. And we are extending our work in that realm by running for Congress or running for DC delegate.
Wonderful, wonderful. So tell me, we've interviewed you before, late last year, I believe, or early this year. So it's been a while.
It was late. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So tell me what has changed since the last time we've interviewed you and what you've learned about the campaign process thus far.
Well, I guess the most significant thing that's changed is now we're on the ballot.
Yeah.
So obviously, we're on the ballot, and there's conditions about COVID and about the presidential election. But in terms of our micro election, we're on the ballot, and we are pushing forward with awareness and with passion about the issues which we think are important to DC voters.
Love that, love that. And it's been hectic summer. It's been a really, really hectic summer. And now Labor Day has passed. We're moving into the fall. And
Right.
We've gone through protests and demonstrations, the ongoing pandemic. Tell me, how has this affected you personally, as well as, your priorities as a candidate?
Well, I was living downtown. I'm no longer living downtown. I'm living now uptown with my parents, who were going to be moving into an assisted living situation. We're no longer living in an assisted living situation. So that's changed my life in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I've done a little bit of protesting. I've also done a little bit of writing, and obviously I've done a lot of phone calling and personal campaigning, and doing things that I think will help us be successful on November 3rd.
Love that. Love to hear that. Love to hear that. Now, what would you like to tell viewers about the voting process for the general election this year?
Well, absentee voting is definitely encouraged. Early voting is definitely encouraged. I'm an independent. Our campaign is independent. Mm-hmm. So we did not participate in the primary, but my recollection in reading about the primary was that there was long lines and people were in line way past the close of the polls. So we hope that people, voters come out and that if they do it by mail or if they do it in early voting, that's fine. And if they come out, they should come out, we hope, earlier in the day than later. Join us in our positive approach forward. The campaign is difficult. It's difficult to get the word out, but we can't hesitate to do that. So, yeah. The democracy is hurt this time around. And let's talk about expectations as well.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone should not have an expectation at the presidential level, which we're not part of, that there's going to be a decision on November 3rd. Okay. Our I'm part of something called the National Association of Nonpartisan Reformers. And it has been made very clear to me by people in the community, which I'm part of, this reform community, that it could be a week before a result happens at the presidential level. And that's okay. Let's not try to have the media dictate that this is what the decision is when we don't know. If, for example, there's lots of votes that are certain types of ballots that weren't counted on the night of the election, let's get them counted. It's going to take a while. And so the expectation that we have in this country over the most of our election cycles, that we will have a result that evening. No, that doesn't have to be that way. And it still is okay. We can get this done professionally with the professionals who I think overwhelmingly are doing a good job with boards of elections across the country.
Important, very, very important. David, tell me and tell our viewers, why you are the choice. Tell us why, they should vote for you, and why you are that choice for DC delegate.
Okay. The number one role of the District of Columbia's non-voting delegate is to provide her or his constituents with complete voting rights. After 15 terms, we can safely say that Eleanor Holmes Norton has not succeeded in that effort, okay? She may be a warrior for the District of Columbia, but we would politely push back and say, perhaps a warrior for the District of Columbia is not the modus operandi that we need to have right now. So rather than scolding Senate Republicans, why don't we have coffee with them? Why don't we actually work to unify the way Congress works? That's what our campaign is about. If you look at our campaign, here's the thesis. The non-voting delegate position from the District of Columbia is the ideal platform from which to espouse reform, provided that the person in that office is neither a Democrat nor Republican. Our campaign is independent. We are the creators of Douglas County, Maryland. We are the creators of the Purple New Deal, which is you can go to our website and look at our positions, which I think you will find are passionately pragmatic. Okay, so we deny we push back against the notion that the persuadables in the middle are like this. We think that there's a much broader, exhausted majority out there, and we look to join with you to bring the exhausted majority forward and to help Congress reform from within.
Very, very, very important. Very important.
And we think that the Congress, I'm going to use a strong word here, is essentially impotent. Okay, they're beholden to an executive election every 4 years, and that's all they get in touch. That's all they do is they basically do nothing but pontificate for 4 years, and then we have another presidential election. That's not their role. They're the first branch of government. The executive is the second branch of government. It's time for Congress persons to speak up and to act who they are, not as who their party bosses think they should be.
Very strong words indeed, David. Very strong words indeed. David, if our audience wants to support your campaign, wants to keep up with you and to follow you, tell me how they can go ahead and do that.
Well, we're on Facebook with the Krucoff for Congress Facebook community, where we have a D Krucoff on Twitter. I'm on Instagram too, but the best way is KrucoffForCongress.com. KRUCOFF, the word for Congress.com. But we have a second URL, which is thepurplenewdeal.com. And obviously, purple is a mixture of red and blue, and we are pushing against the duopoly.
Thank you very much, David. Very important. And David, the most important thing is, thank you so much for joining me today, and I wish you the best of luck as the election comes up.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much, David. Definitely my pleasure. And to our viewers, thank you for watching. Bye, everyone.